Hiya, it's Kerry from Mobilates. I hope you are having a really good day. We are going to start on 30 minutes of gentle exercise, lots of wriggles, lots of rotation today. It's my sort of theme through everything I'm teaching this week. And rotation is so important in our movement, not so we do fancy things, but just when we walk. Parts of our spine are having to rotate when we sit and we turn, when we're in a car and just getting into the car, looking behind us. There's all sorts of rotations that go on. So we're going to do lots of different sort of rotations for our spine. I'm going to be standing, sitting, lying down. You can pick any of those positions during the class. Keep moving it around. But otherwise, how are things for you? Enjoying some more moderate weather? Maybe it's not quite so hot as it has been. It's a bit more sort of a bit more normal British summer, a bit cloudy, muggy and occasional sun. I think we've just got into the sun bit after a bit of a muggy start to the day. Right, shall we get started? So standing or sitting, a bit of a gap between our feet and the toes and the rest of the feet pointing forwards. And we're going to lift the toes up and down, just the toes, nothing else. And if it's been a while since you've moved your feet around, just give them like a little, like you're just wiping off your shoes. And it just helps give your feet a little bit more of a wake up. And then you might find you can lift your toes just a little higher up and down. And as you lift your toes, can you start to spread them out? You'll see me looking down. I'm just seeing what's going on with my feet. You might be doing the same. That's it. And then place your toes downwards. If you're sitting, place your hands on your chest. If you're standing, it's going to be a balancy one. So you might get your arms out to the sides, grow a little taller. You could even be touching something. I could be touching that chair if I was further back. We're going to rock a little forwards and backwards. So as you come forwards, more weight goes into the front of your toes. And as you go back, you can feel it whoa in your heels. Your toes may even lift up. Going forwards, feel your toes pressing down more. Just hold it there. As you go back, let things lift a little if you can. I'll show you what sitting looks like. So I'm not at the very back of my chair. I've got a bit of room to rock. So as I go back, sitting, your toes may not come up because the weight is going more into your bum. I can feel my belly working a bit harder. And then I'm going to come forwards. Now I'm going to push my legs downwards a little and feel more weight in my feet. That's it. And if this feels like too much for your belly and a bit of a strain around that sort of core area, you can have your hands down at the sides or even your hands at your legs, and they can give you literally a helping hand. That's it. Now could you circle? And then keep that height in your spine, keep that height in your body, circle the other way. That's it. Come back. Just settle. Give everything a little wriggle. And then we'll bring our feet to a parallel position just in case they've migrated away. And if you look down, there's room to put a book between your feet. If you're sitting, it's about 2 fists between the knees. Soften the knees if you're standing. We're going to go into pelvic tilts. So you can put your hand on your belly and feel the roundness. Put your hand on your back and just feel the shape. Mine feels like a sort of straightish slope going down the back of my bum. So we'll take a breath in. And as you breathe out, you're going to pull your hand back a little from your belly and bring a little tension to your belly. And just keep taking it back so you can feel the waistband bit. I'm just going to give mine a ping there. The waistband of whatever bottom half you've got on, just moving backwards a little. And then move that waistband forwards, move your front hand forwards, move your belly forwards. Breathe in. Breathe out, pull your hand almost back from your belly. That's it. We're doing these really slow. And one more. And then another little wriggle. And just hula hoop your hips. We'll go a few times one way. We'll go a few times the other way. And then grow tall. If you are standing, your right, sort of your weight is spread on the front and the back part of your feet. You can rock again to find that if you need to. If you're sitting, you're right on your sit bones. So have a little wiggle on your chair, and you can move your legs, your thighs, your bum a little bit, so you can feel you're right on those bumpy bits of your bottom. And now we're right up on our sit bones. Place your hands on your chest. That's for everybody. Grow even taller. And now we're going to dip one elbow down to the side. Don't change your hips, your bum, or your feet. And another little dip each way. Just a mini side bend. And one more. And then grow a little taller and tap the back of your head. Just for a bit of sensation, pull your face back, pull your chin back, pull your nose back, pull your eyes back. Right, so now I'm looking ahead. I'm not looking at the camera so much. I'm just looking directly ahead. And I'm going to turn my head and keep that feeling of having a few extra chins. Keep breathing. We don't need to hold our breath here, however tempting it is. And then come to the center. Now place your hands underneath your chin. Keep those extra chins there. So underneath the front chin. I've just got both my fingers. And now I'm going to tip my head to one side. And then to the center. And tip to the other side. So this is like a side bend for your neck. And that pivot of your fingers underneath your chin just stops your head from turning. We're going for 3 each side. This is the third this way. And the third the other way. And then just start to give your shoulders a little bit of a roll. Forwards and backwards, keep it small. And just see how that feels. And if it's feeling good, make it bigger. Maybe your arms can hang down by their sides. If it's not feeling good, keep it small. Perhaps we breathe it in as we come forwards and up. And breathe out as we go back. Little squeeze at the back, down. Breathing in as we go forwards, up. Breathing out as we go around the back, squeeze together and down. One more, I'm going to go forwards, reverse it. Perfect. Right, we're going to take our feet wider. Have a little wriggle. That's it. And then we're going to push an arm across the body, like you're pushing something away to the side of you. And we're sort of not to the very side, front, see where your legs are at diagonal. Now, if you're doing this standing, you can do it with a straight leg and our feet are turned outwards. Now, as you do that push away, see that difference? Instead of your legs just being stuck there and your feet being stuck there, let that foot lift and help push away. So now we're getting into a bit of rotation. And there's quite a lot of the body rotating here, the spine, but the hips are going with it. So if I'm doing this sitting with the feet pushing off, it goes from this to this. Now, because I'm on the chair, I'm using a hand just holding on here because the balance becomes a little bit more perilous. That's it. Perfect. And then bring your legs inwards so that the feet are back to facing forwards. And from this position, if you're sitting, I want you to push down with your feet and you can put your hands on your thighs, or you could make fists and push behind you, almost like you're trying to raise yourself up. And you can see I can go a little up and down, and that's partly my legs pushing and partly my arms. Could be just my legs, and I still get that little upwards. There's just less weight going through the bottom of my spine. If I'm standing, it's like we're sliding down a wall. So the spine stays upright. And the knees point forwards, over our feet, over, if I was looking down, they're going over the sort of second and third toe-ish area. They're not going inwards, basically, so it looks like this. Now, what your knees might be wanting to do is this? Like have a little kiss together. So we're really actively almost turning these inside seams outwards a little to keep the knees parallel and apart. That's it. And it's very tempting to get into this, but it's not that one at the moment. We'll come to that one in a minute. Now we're going to take one foot in front of the other. So it's like you've taken a step. And I'd like you to rock forwards and backwards, and your feet are allowed to rock too. So this is what the standing looks like. And if you're sitting, one foot goes behind. Again, you may want to hold on to your chair. And then I want you to get the opposite arm to the front leg. So here's my front leg, here's my opposite arm. And you're going to reach forwards. And you can see the body has a little turn as you reach forwards. From doing this standing, it's a bit like an exaggerated version of walking. That's it. And then we're going to swap feet over. And we're doing that rocking. And there's a push off from that back foot for all of us. And you might find if you're standing, you can get the front foot rocking. If you're sitting, it's going to be the back foot doing that push off. The front foot's probably going to stay down the whole time. That's it. And then we'll have both feet together again. If you are sitting, you can place your hands on your thighs. If you're standing, your arms are going to come forwards a little. And you could do this with them reaching onto something. So I could, for example, just have a chair here. Now I'm not putting my weight into it like that. It's going to be something, this might be able to move. Mine can definitely move. I'm just steadying myself with it. So I'm going to take the bum, the hips back. And I'm trying to keep my back straight. Now what I tend to do is stick my bum out a lot and arch. So if you do that, you have to work a little at just bringing the ribs, the sternum, the breastbone bit back a little, just so the back stays straight. That's it. And you're sending your bum back, like you're trying to just use your bum to shut a drawer in the kitchen or the car door and just give it a little boot with your bum. If you're sitting, it's going to look like this. And then if you're comfortable too, your hands can go up, but you're really pushing down into your feet. You can even see what it's like to slide your feet a little further back so that your calves and shin bone no longer vertical. Your shin bone is no longer going straight down. It's going back a little. And you can feel your thighs really wake up and firm up as you do this. That's it. And one more. And then take your legs wider. And just like we did before, we're going to push away. But this time, keep your legs still. Don't use that push off. And just get your upper body to push away in different directions. So up, down, high, low. And they're sort of to the side in front of you. Now, if you've got osteoporosis or osteopenia, your legs are a good guide for how far you can rotate. If you haven't, if your spine is comfortable with rotation, you might go right to the very side of yourself. And that's more of a twist. For osteoporosis and osteopenia, that's a little far for the spine. You want to keep a range of motion, but you want to use some guidelines here just to restrict it a little bit. And one more. And then we're going to do something flowing. So we're going to take the arms into a figure eight. Now, if you're sitting like this and it's uncomfortable and your legs want to come in a bit or your knees are coming inwards, bring them in a bit. And we're going to have our arms in this figure eight infinity sort of shape. And then I was almost doing it before. We're going to do a little rock forwards and backwards, straight back. Now, if your back is happy coming forwards and curving, you can add that in. Again, osteoporosis and osteopenia, keep a straight back because this is weighted into the spine and there's no support going through. If you're doing this standing, this is the straight back version. So you've got that hip hinge, the bum going backwards. And if you are flexing and curving your spine, it's almost like you're diving down between your legs and coming up. And if that feels like too much, certainly if it makes you dizzy diving down, keep your body upright. And now you can send your chest up a little, and we're not moving as far forwards and backwards. That's it. And then give everything a little wriggle. I'm going to have a drink. And then we're going to go into a seated posture, either on a chair or down on the floor. I'm going to go on the floor. So let's take ourselves down there. I'm going to move my chair out of the way. Now you could sit on a cushion to make yourself a little higher. I think I'm going to do that. I need to move the camera down just a little bit more. Oh, I see that Irene is with us. Hello, Irene. I think there might be a few more of you here as well. Lovely to have you. Right, so we're sat on our bums, either on the chair or on the floor. If it's comfortable to put your legs straight on the floor, and they're going to be apart, they don't have to be really wide apart, they're just not straight ahead. If it's more comfortable for your legs to be bent, they can be bent, or you could have your feet towards each other and your knees out to the sides. So whichever is the most comfortable for you. You want an upright spine. If you're sat on a chair, your legs are going to have your feet on the floor, and they're going to be bent. So they're going to be sort of in this position. So I'm going to come into this position. We're going to put our hands on our chest. We're going to wiggle a little taller, make sure we're on our sit bones. Keep that height in your spine. Turn towards your thigh. And then come back to the center. Turn towards your thigh and come back to the center. We're going to do that one more time. So again, we're using our legs as sort of markers of how far we're going. Right, next one's going to be a little different. Turn towards your thigh. Now hinge forwards, like you're trying to take your belly and your chest towards your leg. And then you can come up, center, turn first, then we lean forwards. I'll show you what it looks like sitting. Right, next one's different. So if you've got osteoporosis or osteopenia, keep where you are, or any other disc issues that don't like a spine that flexes, bends. So this one's going to be different. So now we turn again, and instead of just going straight back and hinging down towards the thigh, we're going to do a little bow towards the thigh and the knee. And then we're going to come upwards, rotate again towards the leg, and do that little bow towards the thigh and the knee. And we'll go one more time each side. Remember, osteoporosis and osteopenia, could you keep it with a flat spine? So you're not bowing, you're just keeping the spine flat and straight as it gets closer towards your leg. Right, so I'm going to put the bow in. And then we'll stay upright. Now we're going to do something with our arms. So take them down, just give them a little wriggle. You also may want to sit back and just give your legs a little bit of movement. I'm going to come back down to the floor. I know if you've been sitting with your legs like this, the hip flexors get a bit tight and they need a little bit of out and in. What we're doing here, it's a classic Pilates movement called the saw, and we're just sort of breaking that down and doing little parts of it. So now bring yourself to sitting right up on your sit bones again. Your legs apart, they can be bent or straight. And the arms are going to be involved as well. So we're going to have our arms downwards. Let's rotate the chest towards the leg and put our arms either side of our leg. The inside arm, could you reach that forwards with your thumb up? And the arm that's at the outside, can you reach it behind you? And the thumb's down towards the floor. Now, I just want you to imagine there's something you've got to reach for with this front hand that's further away. And then at the back, there's something you've got to reach for. And then bring it back to the center. Have a little wriggle. We're going to turn towards the other leg. Inside arm, reach that straight ahead, thumb up. Back arm, reach that behind you as far as it will go. It might be sort of here. It might be right behind. Now we're going to reach a little forwards and a little back. The spine stays where it is, but your arms, it's almost like someone's tugging this finger and someone's tugging the finger at the back. And then take it back and have a little wriggle. So that was a little sort of build up into bits of the saw exercise. Now we're going to take it into either a lying down or a seated position. And I want you to get comfy. So if you're sitting, get a cushion behind you. If you're lying down, you might have a cushion behind your head. If that's comfortable, I like this towel, and I have like quite a little flat cushion, just to give me a little bit of neck support. And once you're in your position, you're allowed to shift and wriggle and just roll around and get things comfy. So if you're lying down on your bed or the floor, hopefully something underneath you, a mat or a blanket, and on your bed, take the duvet back, and then you've got the sheet and the mattress. And your gaze is naturally towards the ceiling. If you're sitting on a chair, your gaze is naturally ahead. Now, if you're lying down and your gaze is right down between your legs, it suggests that whatever's under your head is too much. It's sort of tilting your neck. And if it feels like you're looking almost behind you, if I was looking sort of at this chest of drawers, this plant, that suggests that I need something more under my head until my gaze is up on the ceiling. And then we'll have our arms down by our sides. You can always place your hands on your belly and your hips. And we'll take a breath in. Take it wide and to the sides of your ribs. And as you breathe out, I want you to breathe out until you feel a little tension on the front of your belly. And once you feel that tension, can you let the back of your waistband sink back behind you towards the back of the chair or towards the floor? Your head doesn't move. And now we're going to go the other way. Breathe in. Feel some expansion in your chest, and we're going to go the other way, so it feels like you're rolling on the back of the bony bit of your bum, your sacrum, and there might be an arch underneath you or behind you. Feels like your bum's sticking out. We're going to breathe out, let the belly sink, let the back waistband sink down, and then go forwards, breathe in. And then let everything settle, just have any little wriggles. And if you're lying down, just walk your feet a little bit more forwards. So now we've all got a leg that's about 90 degrees bent. And we've got feet and knees that are about book width apart. We're going to take a breath in and slide one leg forwards. Now, if you sat in a chair, you need to be on the front third of your chair. I should have mentioned that a few seconds ago, but better late than ever. So forwards and point the toe. And then can you circle at the ankle? We go a couple of times one way and a couple of times the other way. And then lengthen that toe again, slide back, and the other side lengthens. And then we're going to circle at the ankle. It's like the heel is drawing a circle. Both directions. End with that long length, slide back. Next one's similar but different, slide away. And now bring your toes towards you. Press your heel away and slide back. On the other side, slide away. Push the heel away. Push the foot away, toes towards you, and slide back. Next one, similar but different. There's a theme. Slide away, slide back, and then we're going to hover the leg. So if you're lying down, the leg's going to hover up to a tabletop. If you're seated, your foot's just going to hover off the floor. Press the other foot down as you do this, and then take that leg down. We're going to do the same with the other side. So extend first, slide back, Now press the other leg down. Keep everything else really still. Bit of tension on your belly around your core. Lift. So remember, if you're seated, it's just a hover. Hold it there. Take it down. We're going to do that again each side. I'll show you what the seated looks like if you're not sure. So I'm on the front bit of the sofa, sliding forwards, sliding back so both legs are the same, and then I'm going to hover, just lifting my foot off the floor, and I can feel the effort for my hip flexors here, but also my belly. Place it down. I find I normally lean very slightly back, slide forwards, slide back, hover. And then have a rest, let those go side to side. That's the one. And then we're going to go onto our side if we're lying down. If you're sitting, just stay sitting and I'll demonstrate both moves. So if you're comfortable on your side lying down, we're going to really roll onto our side in the same sort of shape. And we're going to hover the top leg, but before we do, just give the hips a little nudge downwards, and then this just gets our pelvis even. So press the bottom leg down and just hover the top leg and take it down. Hover and take it down. Now, if you're sitting, you can have your legs together, the same sort of position, and just take your legs a little bit apart. One leg moves and then bring it back. And then that leg moves again. And we'll do one more and bring it back. And then stay there. If you're sitting, you could now part your legs a little bit, so there's a bit of a gap. If you're lying down, just stay as you are. You could bring your legs a little forwards. Now we're going to almost like hug the sides of our head. And this is for both sitting and lying down. So bring your hands in like you've got earmuffs over your ears and point the elbows forwards. Then we're going to open the elbow outwards. So that's the first thing. So nothing else changes, just the elbows moving outwards, just our shoulder. Then we're going to move and follow with our head. And now the chest and the torso is going with that. Now that's quite a small rotation, so it should be safe for all of us. I'll show you if you're seated. So as one elbow points out to the side, the other one points forwards. Now, if it's more comfortable or if you've got spinal issues, I would recommend you widen your legs a little bit if you're seated, because it just is more comfortable. It moves the hips as well. And one more like that. And you might find you're rolling back a little bit more, and your legs are allowed to open and move as well if you're lying down. And you just get that feeling of opening up a little bit more. And then we come back. We're going to swap to the other side. So you could go onto your back and then roll away from me. If you're sitting, you're all good. I'm going to swap to this side. And we start with our legs bent at the knee, the back of the feet in line with your spine and your head. Now there's a tendency for the body to roll forward, so I want you to get right on your side and place your hand on your hip and nudge that hip down towards the feet, and then press the lower leg down in towards the ground. So the side of the foot, the side of the knee, the side of the thigh, the hip, you can all feel it. And now it feels like there's more tension in the body and you're a bit more on your side. We're going to hover this top leg, and it just hovers a little bit, and then it's going to come down. Maybe it doesn't even touch. It just stays hovering, and that gap just grows a little smaller, a little bigger. And if you're sitting, you're just taking the leg away a little bit and then bringing it back. And the other leg is still. You might even want a hand on that leg to keep it still. And if you go slowly, you might find it's a little bit more challenging. and then bring it down. Excuse me. Just need to grab a drink. We're going to do the elbow opening next. So now we're going to have our hands gently over our ears. They're sort of cupped. Elbow points are forwards. And if you're sitting, if you're on the floor, you might want to bring your legs just forwards a little bit. So you can see now my shins are in line with the mat. First, start with just the elbow and the arm opening. Nothing else changes. I'll do a couple of those. Now we're going to open and let the head move. So if you're lying down, it rolls. And you're in charge of how far it rolls back. So if you're looking for a small amount of rotation, it might look like that. It might be even less. If you're comfortable with a larger rotation, you can either keep your legs together or you can let your legs part. There's a little bit less sort of torque at the waist there if you do that. And one more. And then we're going to push ourselves upwards. Until we're back to sitting. And then we're going to roll one shoulder and then the other, another little bit of rotation. And then roll forwards. And then backwards again. And grow a little taller and get right up on your sit bones. Now we take our hands out to the side. The time's gone already. Scoop up the air. Bring your hands together. Into your chest, into your heart. Well done. I'll see you again next week. Have a lovely rest of the week. Bye.